YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Good afternoon. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. Today, what I want to talk about, right? I might get in trouble for this, but I want to give you guys this information, right? I want to talk about recruiter lies. I want to talk about lies that Army recruiter tell you when you're trying to join the Army. So if you're looking to join the military, stay tuned and watch this entire video, because for one recruiter I was successful at it, and the things I got in trouble for it because I refused to do, I'm gonna bring you guys in and let you guys know the lies that Army recruiter tell you, and all recruiters tell you across the branches for you to join the military. All right. Number one, first thing they tell you, when you raise your right hand, right, you go to MEPS and you raise your right hand and you take your oath, they tell you you cannot get out of that contract and you bind to that contract. That is a lie, people. That is a lie. You could back out of your contract anytime you want, all the way up to when you get on the plane to go to basic training. So for instance, right, let's say you go through the process, you sign your contract, you raise your right hand, and you took your oath at MEPS, right? On, let's say today is the 13th, right? Friday the 13th. So let's say you sign your contract, you took your oath today, Friday the 13th, and you don't leave to June the 13th. From today, Friday the 13th, all the way up to June the 13th, you could get out of that contract, family. You could get out of that contract. You don't have to ship if you don't want to. If you get a cold fit, you change your mind, you decide the military is not for you no more, you find something better, you don't want to join the military no more, you could back out of that contract, right? All you gotta do is call them and tell them, hey, I don't want to do this no more. I find something better to do with life. I find something more amazing for me to do in life. I don't want to go to basic training no more. I don't want to join the military. You could back out. They're going to try to talk your ear off. They're going to try to give you all the story, tell you all these things. You say you can't back out and all this stuff. I'm here to tell you right now, that is a lie. You have all the way up to the day you leave for basic training to back out. If you don't want to do it no more, don't get on the plane. Because now once you get on the plane, there's no return. There's no turning back. But you have up to May 13th, the day you join, so June 13th, where you get on the plane, to back out. So you could back out, okay? So don't let them lie to you. Second thing, right? When you take your test, right? And then you sit in front of them. Now, this is for the Army only, right? The other branches don't allow you to pick your job. The other branches don't allow you to pick your job. I'm telling you right now, the other branches do not let you pick their job. They tell you what job they're gonna give you. The Army is the only branch that allow you to pick your job before you sign your contract. So once you pass your test, right, and you take your exam, and then you go pass your test, you come back to the recruiter office, right, and you sit on the recruiter desk, and you start, and then they put in your numbers in the system, right, and then you start going through your the jobs that are available to you. This is what they're gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you the job that they show you on the computer system is the only job you have available to you. That is a lie, family. That is a lie. That is not the only job you have available to you. The Army has over 380 jobs, right? The Army has over 380 jobs. Obviously, your test scores determine what jobs you qualify for. That's why your test score is important. What they do, family, when they bring you back, right, and then they put in your scores in the system, right, and then they tell you this, and then they pull the jobs in the system, and they tell you these are the jobs that you have available. That is a lie. What that is the jobs that the Army currently want people to go in. That's all that is. Whatever is in the system is just the job that the Army want people to go in. That is not all the jobs you qualify for. So that is a lie. So this is what you do when you come back from your test, right? Matter of fact, when you come back from taking your test, do not even pick a job. Do not pick a job then. Do not pick your job then. Tell the recruiter this. Tell the recruiter to go give you a list of all the jobs you qualify for. Yes, they can give you that. If they don't want to give you that, then tell them to give you your test scores and you go home and Google it yourself. This information is available on Google. All you gotta do is look at your ASVAB score, and then there's gonna be nine numbers to the right of that. All you gotta do is go type in ASVAB score, translator, right? And then put in those numbers. It's gonna have GT, ST, and all that, right? When you go on Google, whatever that number is on that letter, just put it in Google. And then when you do that, at the end, it's gonna tell you, show me a list of jobs I qualify for. It's gonna give you, based on your score, it's gonna give you all of the jobs that you qualify for, right? Not what the recruiter is telling you in the system. All right. So now type in exactly the name of that job in this series, right? It's gonna be like 92 Alpha Automated Logistician, right? Just type in like that on Google and watch videos. Do a research. Learn what that job is, right? And then what I advise you to do, what I used to do when I was a recruiter, I'll tell my applicant, go watch the videos of all the jobs you qualify for, right? And give me a list of 10. 1 being the one you like the most and 10 being the one you like the least. Bring me that, right? That's what I used to tell my applicant. Bring me that, and then that way I could try to get you a job within those 10 things that you like, all right? Take about 2 to 3 days. I used to tell my applicants, go home, spend about 2 to 3 days on it, right? Come back, give me a list of 1 to 10 that you like, and then I'm gonna try to get you a job within those 1 to 10. So again, don't let them tell you the only job that you qualify for is the job that's on the computer center they show you. That is the jobs that the Army is trying to push people to go do at that present moment. That does not mean that's the only jobs you qualify for, okay? So go home, do your research, bring the list, and then do that. They want you to join, all right? They will get you the job that you want. I promise you, and I'm gonna tell you how that works. Again, so like I said, when you pass your exam, don't pick a job that day. Do not pick your job that day. They're gonna try to get you to pick a job that day because guess what? Now you pass the test, right? Once you pass the test, every branch in the military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, they all have access to that test. So people are gonna be calling your phone because now you have a passing test. That is why they want you, as soon as you come back from passing your test, they want you to pick a job right away so you can go join immediately. But you don't have to. Take your time. Get the list of jobs that you qualify for. Go home, research it. Watch YouTube videos. See what the job is about. Google what people are like, reviews on the job, what people that are currently actively serving, what are they saying about the job? Is this something I'm gonna like? Is this something I'm gonna enjoy? Educate yourself and then come back with a list of top 10 that you like, you think you will enjoy, and then let the recruiter do the job and go get you that job, okay? So that's line number 2. Now, this is how, if one of the jobs that you want is not on the computer system that the recruiter is showing you for a job that's available, right? There's this thing called the ROC, right? There's this thing called the ROC. Every recruiter have access to their number. The ROC is the people that create jobs for people to join the Army, right? Now, you already know you qualify for the job because based on your test scores, you already have a list of the jobs that you qualify for. So if you find a job that's what you want to do, right? That's what you set on. That's what you think you're going to enjoy. That's what you're passionate about, right? This is how you get that job. When you come back to the recruiter, like, this is my top 10. And if they tell you none of those are available, tell them to call the ROC. They're going to look at you crazy like, how you know that? Tell them you watch my YouTube video, all right? Tell them to call the ROC. All right. Now, when you tell them to call the ROC, right? What that is they call on the people that create the jobs on the computer system. Hey, I have a qualified. All they have to do is say, hey, I have a qualified applicant. These are the jobs that they qualify for. These are the scores. This is what they want to do. Can you create a job in the system for me? They're gonna say yes. They're gonna hang up, and then they're gonna refresh the computer system. That job is gonna pop up. All right. This is how you get the job that you want. Do not let the recruiter lie to you and say, what's on the computer system? That's the only thing you qualify for. Do not. It's a sales tactics, right? The Army pays them to sell you jobs that the Army want people to go in at that current moment, right? Because obviously the way it works, if everybody comes in and then the Army just give them what they want, the jobs that people don't want to do, nobody is going to pick those jobs, right? So therefore, that's why when it comes sign time, the Army is saying, hey, these are the jobs that we need people to go in. So recruiters go sell these jobs. This is why they tell you that's the only job you qualify for, because that's the job the Army is selling at that moment. Do not fall for it. Do not buy, okay? They're lying to you. Second thing, right? When it comes to qualification, certain things you tell your recruiter is going to disqualify you for certain jobs. So if a recruiter asks you, do you smoke? And then they tell you don't have to worry about it, it's between you and him. Do not trust them. Do not trust them. They're lying to you. Anything you tell a recruiter goes in the system. Anything you tell a recruiter goes in the system. When they're talking to you, they're asking you questions, they pre-qualify you. And then they write down in your notes. Even if they don't write it down in their notes in front of you, as soon as you walk away from them, they're gonna go write down in their notes. Because when they come back in the system, they have to input all that information in the system. Do not tell the recruiter you smoke. Even if you do smoke, do not tell the recruiter you smoke. Because what that does is, if you tell the recruiter you smoke, right, and they go put that in the system, that disqualify you from a lot of jobs. That disqualify you from a lot of jobs, right? Especially if you want a job that have a security clearance or top secret clearance, it disqualify you automatically. Medical jobs, some medical jobs, it disqualify you automatically. Because the way the Army looks at it is, they don't know you, right? You're a stranger to them. They're trusting you with a bunch of information and a bunch of training, right? So if you tell them you smoke, the way they look at you is, if he cannot obey the law now by not smoking, because we all know smoking is illegal, right? Federally. So if he cannot obey the law now by not smoking, how can we trust them with certain information, especially if it's a secret information in the Army or in the medical field? How can we trust him in the hospital when he's going to be around drugs and not use it? So this is why I'm telling you, do not tell a recruiter you do drugs or you smoke or anything like that. What you do is, if this is something you want to do, joining the military is something you want to do, right? Stop smoking on your own. Go to the Dollar General, buy you a dollar drug test. Test yourself every week. Wait till the drugs is out of your system, then go talk to a recruiter then. Do not tell a recruiter you do drugs, ever. Do not tell a recruiter you do drugs, ever. If they tell you, you could tell them, and it's going to be between them, they're lying to you. Do not tell a recruiter you do drugs, ever. Okay, family, another lie that recruiters say. Once you pass your exam, right, they're going to try to speed things up. They're going to try to tell you have a week to join. They're going to tell you have a week to join. That is not true necessarily, okay? You don't have a week to join. Again, like I said, the process, it all depends on you. It is your life. This is something that you're going to be waking up every day to do, right? So do not let the recruiter rush you. Take your time, all right? When you come back from taking your exam, take your time. Go look at the jobs that you qualify for after you have the list. Go look at the jobs you qualify for. Research them. Watch YouTube videos about them. Review them. Watch comments that people are posting about that job. Take all the time in the world that you need. Because this is your life. This is your career. This is something that you're going to be waking up and doing it every day. That recruiter already have a job that they do, right? That they love doing, that they enjoy doing, right? When we go recruiting, it's just a 3-year assignment. That's not our job. We all have jobs that we choose to do in the Army, and then the Army pick us to go be recruiters. Unless when you get selected to go be a recruiter and then you end up liking it, you don't want to go back to your original job, then you can stay as a permanent recruiter. But all of us that go recruiting, we're a detailed recruiter. We're only there for 3 years. So do not let them lie to you and try to rush you. Take your time. This is something that you're going to be doing. So don't tell them after you come back. Don't let them lie to you. Say you have a week to join. You don't. Take your time. Get that list of jobs you qualify for. Go home, research it, watch YouTube video and all that. They're going to be blowing your phone up, telling you, trying to rush you. Take your time, okay? Come back with the list and then do that. Now, when it comes to MEPS, when it comes to going to MEPS to do your physical, make sure your medical record is clean. Make sure your medical record is clean. The recruiter is going to do a thorough screening process with you, right? Because when you go to do your medical with the doctors, that's nothing anybody could do about that. If a doctor disqualify you for a medical condition, there's nothing you can do about that. So make sure you listen to your recruiters when they go through the pre-qualification medical questions, and make sure you prepare yourself for medical. There's nothing you can really do about medical. Okay, so family, again, these are the lies that recruiters try to tell you. Lie number one, they try to tell you was you raise your right hand and then you took your oath at MEPS, you cannot back out of your contract. That is a lie. If you take your oath on May the 13th and then they tell you you ship in June the 13th, you go back out of that contract all the way up to June the 13th before you get on the plane to go to basic training. You could back out of that contract. Lie number 2, when you take your test, right, then you come back and then you pass your test, and then everybody find out you pass your test. I'm gonna be honest with you. We know you pass your test before you even come back, because as soon as you pass your test, what we do when we have someone down there taking the test, we go to your profile and then we refresh it every hour. Because as soon as you pass your test, the system automatically sends it to us, and we know you passed anyway. So before you even come back, we already know you passed, right? And then that's when we start trying to figure out what we're gonna say to you to sell you the jobs that the Army want us to sell you. So by the time you come back, we already have our speech prepared, right? Do not fall for it. When you come back from taking your exam and they tell you what's on the computer screen is all you qualify for, that is a lie. What you do is, I'm telling you right now, do not pick a job after your test. Do not pick a job after your test. Go home, think about it, watch YouTube videos, let it process marinate, let it sink in, think about it before you make an impulsive decision, right? Tell them to print you a list of jobs you qualify for based on your scores. Go home, spend a week on it. Watch YouTube videos of every job. Look at comments that people are saying about that job. Research that job. Figure out that job in the Army, what technical certification does that job come with that could transfer and translate into the civilian world. Because what I usually tell my applicant is, I want you to pick a job that you're going to do in the Army that you could also do in the civilian world. That way when you're in the Army, whether you decide to do 3, 4, 5 or make it a career like I did, when you get out, I want you to be able to set yourself up successfully for when you get out of the military, whatever day that time comes. Because the Army is going to use and abuse you. So since the Army is going to use and abuse you, get something out of them also. That way when you get out, whether it's 3 years or career, you could use that tool and that certification and go get a civilian job. So when you're looking at these jobs, make sure it's something that's in high demand as a civilian when you get out of the military that you could use to go get a job. Alright, so lie number 2, don't let them tell you what's on your computer is the only job you qualify for. Lie number 3, don't let them tell you if they ask you if you do drugs, you could trust them. That's a lie. Do not tell them you do drugs whatsoever. Make sure your system is clean on your own before you come start the process. That way when you take the drug test, your system is clean. Nobody needs to know you do drugs. As long as you pass the drug test, when you go do your physical, you're good. You don't have to tell anybody you do drugs. You don't have to tell anybody you do drugs. Alright, and then number 4, the lie they tell you is they tell you have a certain amount of time to join. You don't have to rush the process. It is your process. You can go as fast as you want and as slow as you want. Alright, trust me, the Army wants you to join. Alright, they will do whatever they have to do to get you to join. Take your time. Think about your decision. Think about the choice that you're about to make. Don't let anybody rush you. Alright, do your research. Watch the YouTube videos on the jobs. Educate yourself on the jobs. Do not tell a recruiter you've ever done drugs ever in your life. Do not let them rush you. These are all tactics and lies that recruiters tell you to try to rush you to pick a job that the Army is trying to sell people. Alright, do not fall for it. Find a job that you enjoy, that you're gonna like, that's gonna make you successful when you get out of the military. Come back with your list of top 10 jobs and let the recruiter know those are the jobs that you want to do. Trust me, they will call the rock and they will get you that job. Family, hopefully you learned something from this video. Hopefully you guys gained something from this video. Recruiters are gonna be mad at me, but I don't care. This is why God wanted me to start my YouTube channel, because He wanted me to give people education and educate people so they could make educated decisions, right? I'm here to motivate, inspire, educate. I've done it at a high level. I was successful at it. Trust me, when I was a recruiter, me and my boss used to get at it all the time, because I used to do what I just told you guys. I used to do it for all my applicants. I would send them over the list, tell them to come back with the top 10. And I would take as long as I need to get them what they want, right? That way when they go in the military, I still have applicants up to this day that I mentioned that reached out to me because I took care of them. At the end of the day, my goal is to take care of people, right? So I'm giving you this education, this information, so I could take care of you guys. If this is something you want to do, do not let recruiters lie to you. All right. God bless you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and comment below what you guys learned in this video. God bless you all. Have a good day.